I've had too much to drink. I'm hungry, I'm tired, and I want to go to bed. I need to consider your proposal just as I considered that contract you gave me. And I pressed my lips together to show my displeasure, but also to lighten the mood between us. That wasn't the most romantic proposal. He tilts his head to one side and his lips work up in a smile. Their point well made as ever in the steel. He breathes. His voice lays so that's not no. I sigh. No, Mr. Gray, it's not a no. But it's not yes either. You're only doing this because you're scared and you don't trust me. No, I'm doing this because I finally met someone I want to spend the rest of my life with. Oh, my heart skips a beat, and inside, I melt. How is it that in the middle of the most bizarre situations, we can say the most romantic things? My mouth pops open in shock.
Here we go. This is funny. These little kids, I would
never thought that would happen to me. He continues, his expression radiating pure, undiluted sincerity. I gape at him, searching for the right words. Can I think about it? Please. And think about everything else that's happened today, what you just told me. You asked for patience and faith. Well, back at you, Gray. I need those now. His eyes search mine, and after a peek, he leans forward and tucks my hand behind my ear. I can live with that. He kisses me quickly on the lips. Not very romantic, eh? He raises his eyebrows, and I give him an admonishing shake of my head. Hearts and sighs. I nod, and he gives me a smile. You're hungry? Yes? His eyes frost and his jaw hardens.
You got pressure on you.
I sit back on my heels and nod passively.
No, now I remember.
Thrown out of my apartment after witnessing
Sprinkling
my
all the shit.
boyfriend
No, there's a
interact
certain way
intimately
how you
with
do
his
it, and then the
ex-submissive,
fucking
considerably
get my
suppressed
leg and pull me out and all that shit.
I glare at him and
Ass out
fist my
that there's
hands
all
on my
kinds of
hips.
KCM and stuff. But no.
Christian shakes his
What
head
about
and
it
rises
being in the Bible?
gracefully
Well,
to his
arguably I'm
feet.
right because no one knows what the Bible is. But I'm right. It's not foodporn. But yeah, that's
He
what
holds his hand out to
I
me.
said the Bible.
Let me fix you something to eat, he says. Can't I just go to bed? I mutter wearily as I place my hand in his. He pulls me up. I am stiff. He gazes down at me, his expression soft. No, to eat. Come. Bossy Christian is back, and it's a relief. He leads me to the kitchen area and ushers me toward a bar stool as he heads to the fridge. I glance at my watch and it's nearly 11:30, and I have to get up for work in the morning. Christian, I'm really not hungry. He studiously ignores me as he ferrets through the enormous fridge. Cheese, he asks. Not at this hour. Pretzels? In the fridge? No. I snap. He turns and grins at me.
Well, what are you doing? Shoot. Oh my God, just open up the fucking
Not at 11:30. Christian, I'm going to bed.
and stand it.
You can rummage around in your refrigerator for the rest of
Stand
the
so
night if
fucking
you
long.
want. I'm tired, and I've had
You don't
far
eat
too
any.
stool, and he scowls at me. But right now,
You're ever gonna have
I
a
don't
friend
care.
come to
I want to go to bed. I'm exhausted.
fucking
Macaroni and cheese.
or don't have
He
them
holds
come
up a
young
white
why
bowl
because
lit
what's
with
going
oil.
on.
It looks so appealing. You like macaroni and cheese? I ask. He nods
Who's the one
enthusiastically,
talking? What the fuck
and my
is
heart melts. He looks so young all of a sudden. Who would have thought? Christian Gray likes nursery food. Want some? He asks, sounding hopeful. I can't resist him, and I'm hungry. I nod and give him a weak smile. His answering grin is breathtaking. He takes the foil off the bowl and pops it
So
into the
Cooper's
microwave.
not into
I perch back on the stool and watch. That is Mr. Christian Grey, the man who wants to marry me, move gracefully and ease around his kitchen. So, you know how to use the microwave then? I tease softly. If it's in a packet, I can usually do something with it. It's real when I have a problem. I cannot believe this is the same man who was on his knees in front of me not half an hour before. He's his usual mercurial self. He sets out plates, cutlery, and placemats on the breakfast bar.
You have to understand, I haven't talked to a Jew in a long fucking time, so I haven't been able to be like.
I have to go to work tomorrow. My boss is leaving for New York. Christian frowns.
I hope that they be sealed.
I checked the weather forecast and it looks like rain, I say, shaking my head. Oh, so what do you want to do? The microwave's beep announces that our supper is warmed through. I just want to get through one day at a time right now. All this excitement is tiring. I raise an eyebrow at him, which he judiciously ignores. Christian places the white bowl in between our place settings and takes his seat beside me. He looks deep in thought, distracted. I dish the macaroni onto our plates. It smells divine, and my mouth waters in anticipation. I am famished. Sorry about Layla, he murmurs. Why are you sorry? It smells. My stomach rumbles gratefully. It must have been a terrible shock for you, finding her in your apartment. Taylor swept through it earlier himself. He's very upset. I don't blame Taylor. Neither do I. He's been out looking for you. Really? Why? I didn't know where you were. You left your purse, your phone. I couldn't even track you. Where did you go? He asks. His voice is soft, but there's an ominous undercurrent to his words. Ethan and I just went to a bar across the street, so I could watch what was happening. I see. The atmosphere between us has changed subtly. It's no longer light. Okay? Well, two can play that game. Let's just bring this back to you, 50. Trying to sound nonchalant, wanting to assuage my burning curiosity, but dreading the answer, I ask. So, what did you do with Layla in the apartment? I glance up at him, and he freezes with his forkful of macaroni suspended in midair. Oh no, that's not good. You really want to know? A knot tightens in my gut and my appetite vanishes. Yes, I whisper. You really? My subconscious has thrown her empty bottle of gin on the floor and is sitting up in her armchair, glaring at me in horror. Christian's mouth flattens into a line, and he hesitates. We talked, and I gave her a bath. His voice is hoarse, and he continues quickly when I make no response. And I dressed her in some of your clothes. I hope you don't mind, but she was filthy. Holy fuck! He bathed her? What an inappropriate thing to do. I'm reeling, staring down at my uneaten macaroni. The sight of it now makes me nauseous. Try to rationalize this, my subconscious coaches. That cool, intellectual part of my brain knows that he just did that because she was dirty. But it's too hard. My fragile, jealous self can't bear it. Suddenly, I want to cry. Not succumb to ladylike tears that trickle decorously down my cheeks, but howling at the moon crying. I take a deep breath to suppress the urge, but my throat is arid and uncomfortable from my unshed tears and sobs. It was all I could do, Anna, he says softly. You still have feelings for her? No, he says, appalled, and closes his eyes, his expression one of anguish. I turn away, staring once more at my sickening food. I can't bear to look at him. To see her like that, so different, so broken. I care about her, one human being to another. He shrugs as if to shake off an unpleasant memory. Jeez, is he expecting my sympathy? Anna, look at me. I can't. I know that if I do, I will burst into tears. This is just too much to absorb. I'm like an overflowing tank of gasoline, full beyond capacity. There's no room for any more. I simply cannot cope with any more crap. I will combust and explode, and it will be ugly if I try. Jeez. Christian is ex-sub in such an intimate fashion. The image flashes through my brain. Bathing her, for fuck's sake. Naked. A harsh, painful shudder racks my body. Anna. What? Don't. It doesn't mean anything. It was like caring for a child. A broken, shattered child. He mutters. What the hell would he know about caring for a child? This was a woman he had a very full-on, deviant sexual relationship with. Oh, this hurts. I take a deep, steadying breath. Or perhaps he's referring to himself. He's the broken child. That makes more sense. Or maybe it makes no sense at all. Oh, this is so fucked up. And suddenly, I'm bone-crushingly tired. I need sleep. Anna? I stand, take my plate to the sink, and scrape the contents into the trash. Anna, please. I whirl around and face him. Just stop, Christian. Just stop with the Anna, please. I shout at him, and my tears start to trickle down my face. I've had enough of all this shit today. I am going to bed. I am tired and emotional. Now let me be. I turn on my heel and practically run to the bedroom, taking with me the memory of his wide-eyed, shocked stare. Nice to know I can shock him, too. Quick time, and after rifling through his chest of drawers, drag on one of his t-shirts and head for the bathroom. I gaze at myself in the mirror, hardly recognizing the gaunt, pink-eyed, blotchy-cheeked harridan staring back at me, and it's too much. I sink to the floor and surrender to the overwhelming emotion I can no longer contain. Sobbing, huge, chest-wrenching sobs, finally letting my tears flow unrestrained. Chapter 15. Hey, Christian says gently as he pulls me into his arms. Please don't cry, Anna. Please. He begs. He's on the bathroom floor, and I am in his lap. I put my arms around him and weep into his neck. Cooing softly into my hair, he gently strokes my back, my head. I'm sorry, baby, he whispers, and that makes me cry harder and hug him tighter. We sit like this forever. Eventually, when I'm all cried out, Christian staggers to his feet, holding me, and carries me into his room where he lays me down in the bed. In a few seconds, he's beside me and the lights are off. He pulls me into his arms, hugging me tightly, and I finally drift off into a dark and troubled sleep. I awake. He grumbles in his sleep as I slip out of his arms, but he doesn't wake. Sitting up, I glance at the alarm clock. It's 3 in the morning. I need an Advil and a drink. I swing my legs out of bed and make my way to the kitchen in the great room. In the fridge, I find a carton of orange juice and pour myself a glass. It's delicious, and my fuzzy head eases immediately. I hunt through the cupboards looking for some painkillers and eventually come across a plastic box full of meds. I sink 2 Advil and pour myself another orange juice. Wandering to the great wall of glass, I look out on a sleeping Seattle. The lights twinkle and wink beneath Christian's castle in the sky, or should I say fortress. I press my forehead against the cool window. It's a relief. I have so much to think about after all the revelations of yesterday. I place my back against the glass and slide down onto the floor. The great room is cavernous in the dark, the only light coming from the 3 lamps above the kitchen island. Could I live here, married to Christian? After all that he's done here, all the history this place holds for him? Marriage. It's almost unbelievable and completely unexpected. But then, everything about Christian is unexpected. My lips smirk with irony of this reality. Christian Grey. Expect the unexpected. 50 shades of fucked up. My smile fades. I look like his mother. This wounds me deeply, and the air leaves my lungs in a rush. We all look like his mom. How the hell do I move on from the disclosure of that little secret? No wonder he didn't want to tell me. But certainly he can't remember much of his mother. I wonder once more if I should talk to Dr. Would Christian let me? Perhaps he could fill in the gaps. I shake my head. I feel world weary, but I'm enjoying the calm serenity of the great room and its beautiful works of art. Cold and austere, but in their own way, still beautiful in the shadows and surely worth a fortune. Could I live here? For better? For worse? In sickness and in health? I close my eyes, lean my head back against the glass, and take a deep, cleansing breath. The peaceful tranquility is shattered by a visceral, primeval cry that makes every single hair on my body stand to attention. Christian, holy fuck, what's happening? I am on my feet running back to the bedroom before the echoes of that horrible sound have died away, my heart thumping with fear. I flip one of the light switches and Christian's bedside light comes to life. He's tossing and turning, writhing in agony. No! He cries out again, and the eerie, devastating sound lances through me anew. Shit! A nightmare! Christian! I lean over him, grab his shoulders, and shake him awake. He opens his eyes and they are wild and vacant, scanning quickly around the empty room before coming back to rest on me. He left. He left. My heart. 450. I'm here. I sit down on the bed beside him. I'm here. I murmur softly in an effort to reassure him. I reach out to place my palm on the side of his face, trying to soothe him. You were gone, he whispers rapidly. His eyes are still wild and frightened, but he seems to be calming. I went to get a drink. I was thirsty. He closes his eyes and rubs his face. When he opens them again, he looks so desolate. You're here. Oh, thank God. He reaches for me and, grabbing me tightly, he pulls me down on the bed beside him. I just went for a drink, I murmur. Oh, the intensity of his fear. I can feel it. His t-shirt is drenched in sweat, and his heart is pounding as he hugs me close. He's gazing at me as if reassuring himself that I am really here. I gently stroke his hair and then his cheek. Christian, please, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere, I say soothingly. Oh, Anna, he breathes. He grasps my chin to hold me in place, and then his mouth is on mine. Desire sweeps through him, and unbidden my body responds, so tied and attuned to him. His lips are at my ear, my throat, then back at my mouth, his teeth gently pulling at my lower lip, his hand traveling from my hip to my breast, dragging my t-shirt up, caressing me, feeling his way through the dips and shallows of my skin. He elicits the same familiar reaction, his touch sending shivers through me. I moan as his hand cups my breast and his fingers tighten over my nipple. I want you, he murmurs. I'm here for you. Only you, Christian. He groans and kisses me once more, passionately, with a fervor and desperation I've not felt from him before. Grabbing the hem of his t-shirt, I tug and he helps me pull it off over his head. Kneeling between my legs, he hastily pulls me upright and drags my t-shirt off. His eyes are serious, wanting, full of dark secrets, exposed. He cups his hands around my face and kisses me, and we sink down into the bed once more, his thigh between both of mine so that he's half lying on top of me. His erection is rigid against my hip through his boxer briefs. He wants me, but his words from earlier choose this moment to come back and haunt me. What he said about his mother. And it's like a bucket of cold water on my libido. Fuck. I can't do this. Not now. Christian, stop. I can't do this. I whisper urgently against his mouth, my hands pushing on his upper arms. What's wrong? He murmurs and starts kissing my neck, running the tip of his tongue lightly down my throat. Oh, no, please. I can't do this. Not now. I need some time, please. Oh, Anna, don't overthink this. He whispers as he nips my earlobe. Ah! I gasp, feeling it in my groin, and my body bows, betraying me. This is so confusing. I am just the same, Anna. I love you, and I need you. Touch me, please. He rubs his nose against mine, and his quiet, heartfelt plea moves me, and I melt. Touch him. Touch him while we make love. Oh my. He rears up over me, gazing down, and in the half light from the dimmed bedside light, I can tell that he's waiting for my decision, and he spell. I reach up and tentatively place my hand on the soft patch of hair over his sternum. He gasps and scrunches his eyes closed as if in pain, but I don't take it away this time. I move it up to his shoulders, feeling the tremor run through him. He groans, and I pull him down to me and place both my hands on his back, where I've never touched him before. On his shoulder blades, holding him to me. His strangled moan arouses me like nothing else. He buries his head in my neck, kissing and sucking and biting me, before trailing his nose up my chin and kissing me, his tongue possessing my mouth, his hands moving over my body once more. His lips move down, down, down to my breasts, worshipping as they go, and my hands stay on his shoulders and his back, enjoying the flex and ripple of his finely honed muscles, his skin still damp from his nightmare. His lips close over my nipple, pulling and tugging, so that it rises to greet his glorious, skilled mouth. I groan and run my fingernails across his back, and he gasps a strangled moan. Oh, fuck, Anna. He chokes, and it's a half cry, half groan. It tears at my heart, but also deep inside me, tightening all the muscles below my waist. Oh, what I can do to him. I'm panting now, matching his tortured breaths with my own. His hand travels south over my belly, down to my sex, and his fingers are on me, then in me. I groan as he moves his fingers around inside me, in that way, and I push my pelvis up to welcome his touch. Anna, he breathes. He suddenly releases me and sits up. He removes his boxer briefs and leans over to the bedside table to grab a foil packet. His eyes are a blazing gray as he passes me the condom. You want to do this? You can still say no. You can always say no, he murmurs. Don't give me a chance to think, Christian. I want you to. I rip the packet open with my teeth as he kneels between my legs, and with trembling onto him. Steady, he says. You are going to unman me, Anna. Man with my touch. He stretches out over me, and for now my doubts are pushed down and locked away in the dark, scary depths at the back of my mind. I'm intoxicated with this man, my 50 shades. He shifts suddenly, completely taking me by surprise, so I am on top. Whoa. You take me, he murmurs, his eyes glowing with a feral intensity. Oh my. Slowly, oh so slowly, I sink down onto him. He tilts his head back and closes his eyes as he groans. I grab his hands and start to move, reveling in the fullness of my possession, reveling in his reaction, watching him unravel beneath me. I feel like a goddess. I lean down and kiss his chin, running my teeth along his stubbled jaw. He tastes delicious. He clasps my hips and steadies my rhythm, slow and easy. Anna, touch me, please. Oh. I lean forward and steady myself with my hands on his chest, and he calls out, his cry almost a sob, and he thrusts deep inside me. Ah! I whimper and run my fingernails gently over his chest, through the hair there, and he groans loudly and twists abruptly, so I am once more beneath him. Enough, he moans. No more, please. And it's a heartfelt plea. Reaching up, I clasp his face in my hands, feeling the dampness on his cheeks, and pull him down to my lips so that I can kiss him. I curl my hands around his back. He groans deep and low in his throat as he moves inside me, pushing me onward and upward, but I can't find my release. My head is too cloudy with issues. I am too wrapped up in him. Let go, Anna, he urges me. No. Yes, he snarls. He shifts slightly and gyrates his hips again and again. Jeez. Ah! Come on, baby. I need this. Give it to me. And I explode, my body a slave to his, and wrap myself around him, clinging to him like a vine as he cries out my name. He collapses, his full weight pressing me into the mattress. I cradle Christian in my arms, his head on my chest as we lie in the afterglow of our lovemaking. I run my fingers through his hair as I listen to his breathing return to normal. Don't ever leave me, he whispers, and I roll my eyes in the full knowledge that he can't see me. I know you're rolling your eyes at me, he murmurs, and I hear the trace of humor in his voice. You know me well, I murmur.
Oh, did I get a
I'd
shit
like to know you better. Back at you, Gray. What was your nightmare about? The usual. Tell me. He swallows and tenses before he issues a drawn-out sigh. I must be about 3, and the crack horse pimp is mad as hell again. He smokes and smokes, one cigarette after another, and he can't find an ashtray. He stops, and I freeze as a creeping chill grips my heart. It hurt, he said. It's the pain I remember. That's what gives me nightmares. That, and the fact that she did nothing to stop him. Oh no, this is unbearable. I tighten my grip around him, my legs and arms holding him to me. I try not to let my despair choke me. How could anyone treat a child like that? He raises his head and pins me with his intense gray gaze. You're not like her. Don't ever think that. Please. I blink back at him. It's very reassuring to hear. He puts his head on my chest again, and I think he's finished, but he surprises me by continuing. Sometimes in the dreams, she's just lying on the floor, and I think she's asleep, but she doesn't move. She never moves.
I have made
And I'm hungry.
the requested changes to the best of my knowledge, period.
Oh,
When possible, Tom, I would appreciate it
there's
if
a
you
loud
would review
noise and he's back,
and let me know
and he hits me
if
so hard,
you have
cursing
any other
crack
advice,
word.
period.
His first reaction
Thank you
was
so much for
always
all
to
your
use his
assistance.
fists or his belt. Is that why you don't like to be touched? He closes his eyes and hugs me tighter. That's complicated, he murmurs. He nuzzles me between my breasts, inhaling deeply, trying to distract me. Tell me, I prompt. He sighs. She didn't love me. I didn't love me. The only touch I knew was harsh. It stemmed from there. Flynn explains it better than I can. Can I see Flynn? He raises his head to look at me. 50 Shades rubbing off on you. And then some. I like how it's rubbing off right now. I wriggle provocatively underneath him, and he smiles. Yes, Miss Steele. I like that too. He leans up and kisses me. He gazes at me for a moment. You are so precious to me, Anna. I was serious about marrying you. We can get to know each other then. I can look after you. You can look after me. We can have kids. Lay my world at your feet, Anastasia. I want you, body and soul, forever. Please think about it. I will think about it, Christian. I will. I reassure him, reeling once more. Kids? Jeez. I'd really like to talk to Dr. Flynn, though, if you don't mind. Anything for you, baby. Anything. When would you like to see him? Sooner rather than later. Okay. I'll make the arrangements in the morning. He glances at the clock. It's late. We should sleep. He shifts to switch off his bedside light and pulls me against him. I glance at the alarm clock. Crap, it's 3:45. He curls his arms around me, his front to my back, and nuzzles my neck. I love you, Anna Steele, and I want you by my side, always. He murmurs as he kisses my neck. Now, go to sleep. I close my eyes. Reluctantly, I open my heavy eyelids and bright light fills the room. I groan. I feel cloudy, disconnected from my leaden limbs, and Christian is wrapped around me like ivy. As usual, I'm too warm. It can't be later than 5 in the morning. The alarm has not gone off yet. I stretch out to free myself from his heat, turning in his arms, and he mumbles something unintelligible in his sleep. I glance at the clock. 8:45. Shit! I'm going to be late. Fuck! I scramble out of bed and dash to the bathroom. I am showered and out within 4 minutes. Christian sits up in bed watching me with ill-concealed amusement, coupled with wariness as I continue to dry myself while gathering my clothes. Perhaps he's waiting for me to react to yesterday's revelations. Right now, I just don't have time. I check my clothes. Black slacks, black shirt, all a bit Mrs. R, but I don't have a second to change my mind. I hastily don black bra and panties, conscious that he's watching my every move.
Who is this?
Unnerving. The panties and bra will do. Oh, good. Christian purrs from the bed, percent panty busting
My
smile.
friend becomes a fucking
Oh, this is so tempting. My inner goddess pouts provocatively at me. No, Christian, I can't. I am not the megalomaniac CEO with a beautiful smile who can come and go as he pleases. I like to come as I please. He smirks and cranks his glorious smile up another notch, so it's in full HD IMAX. Christian, I scold. I throw my towel at him and he laughs. Beautiful smile, huh? Yes, you know the effect you have on me. I put on my watch. Do I? He blinks innocently. Yes, you do. The same effect you have on all women. It's really tiresome watching them all swoon. Does it? He cocks his eyebrow at me, more amused. Don't play the innocent, Mr. Gray. It really doesn't suit you, I mutter distractedly as I scoop my hair into a ponytail and pull on my black high-heeled shoes. There, that will do. When I bend to his side, he grabs me and pulls me down onto the bed, leaning over me and smiling from ear to ear. Oh my, he's so beautiful. Eyes bright with mischief, floppy just fucked again hair, that dazzling smile. Now he's playful. I'm tired, still reeling from all the disclosures of yesterday, while he's bright as a button and sweet as fuck. Oh, exasperating. What can I do to tempt you to stay? He says softly, and my heart skips a beat and begins to pound. He is temptation personified. You can't, I grumble, struggling to sit back up. Let me go. He pouts and I give up. Grinning, I trace my fingers over his sculptured lips. My shades.
It would be lit.
I love him
This
so,
probably one of the hottest
in all
fucking
his
boards of all time.
monumental fucked upness.
Really? Why? Because it's
I
a really
haven't
good
even
idea.
begun to process yesterday's events and how I feel about them. I lean up to kiss him, thankful that I have brushed my teeth. He kisses me long and hard,
Really?
swiftly
Yeah. I
sets
used
me
to
on my
hate that
feet.
song. Really? Yeah.
Dazed,
What? No,
breathless,
I mean, it's a good
slightly
song,
wobbly,
good and stuff like that. There's
quicker
a
than finding
ton of
secret
money. Like,
He's
I'll
waiting
never
outside
get
the
it.
building. Christian says,
Even if I had kids, oh my god, he's like,
is he worried about my
if you
reaction
don't
this
get
morning?
any
Surely last night, or this morning, proved that I am not going to run. Okay,
but watch
thank
they do
you,
it. Really?
I mutter, disappointed that I am upright on my feet, confused by his hesitancy,
What's
and
easy?
vaguely irritated that once again I won't be driving my Saab. But he's right, of course. It will be quicker with Taylor. Enjoy your lazy morning, Mr. Gray. I wish I could stay, but the man who owns the company I work for would not approve of his staff ditching just for hot sex. I grab my purse. Personally listed. I have no doubt. In fact, I'd insist on it. Why are you staying in bed? It's not like you. He crosses his hands behind his head and grins at me. Because I
What's up, Jersey?
I shake my head at him. Later's, baby. I blow him a kiss, and I am out the door. Taylor is waiting for me, and he seems to understand that I am late because he drives like a bat out of hell to get me to work by 9:15. I am grateful when he pulls up at the curb, grateful to be alive. His driving was scary, and grateful that I am
That's
not
everybody's
late.
type.
Only 15 minutes. Thank you, Taylor, I mutter, ashen-faced. I remember Christian telling me he drove tanks. Maybe he drives for NASCAR, too. He's better. He nods a farewell, and I dash into my
Hey,
office,
what's up?
realizing as I open
Down,
the door
lady.
to reception,
Count the
Taylor
comments,
seems
bitch.
to have overcome the Miss Steele formality. It makes me smile.
Like, I feel like
Claire
she should have
grins at me as I
started off
rush
slow.
through
She
reception
should
and
have been
make my
like,
way to my desk.
it should have been one of those songs that builds up.
Jack
Like
calls me. Get in
it
here.
should have been like,
Oh, shit. What time do you call this?
oh, nigga, 3 figures, that's my type.
I'm
That's my
sorry,
type.
I
That's my
overslept.
type.
I flush crimson.
3 figures, that's my
Let it have
type.
it
That's
again.
right.
Fix
Then
me
it
some
gets
coffee,
bigger and bigger.
then I need
And then
to
all of a
use
sudden it
the
gets to 8
Don't
figures.
do it.
That's what I want to hear.
Shouts.
This bitch just starts off on number 8.
Why is
You
he so
bitch.
mad? What's his problem? What have I done?
Good? Yeah.
I hurry to the
So
kitchen
then what
to
would it
fix
be?
his coffee.
You
Maybe
gotta
I
start.
should have ditched.
You could be like, you're the fucking around to where it's like, negative
Well,
6 figures,
you
that's
know,
my. That's
or
my
having
type.
breakfast.
Negative 6
Or
figures, that's
just
my type.
talking.
That's my type.
That would be novel. Jack barely acknowledges my presence when I
Really?
venture back into his
Oh, for
office
sure.
to deliver
Why?
his coffee. He thrusts a sheet of paper at me.
Find someone in more
He had
depth than I
written
am.
in a barely legible scrawl. Type this up.
They have more depth than I do,
Copy and mail
and
it to
they
all
have
our authors.
a professional
Yes, Jack.
degree.
He doesn't look up as I leave.
Nobody else.
Boy, is he mad. It is with some relief
Wow.
that I finally sit down at my desk.
Name someone more
I
unsecured.
take a sip of tea as I wait for my computer to boot up. I check my emails.
Names. I am the person
Christian
who has
Gray.
more debt
Subject.
than anyone on. I have more
Date,
unsecured
June
debt
15th,
than any
2011.
human on
9:05.
earth without a
To
professional degree.
Anastasia Steele. Please use your BlackBerry. X.
And now I'm gonna
Christian
be
Gray.
ruthless,
CEO,
laying on the covers.
Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc.
Rich niggas, what
From
have it?
Anastasia Steele.
Poor
Subject.
nigga,
All
poor
right
niggas
for
making
some.
6 figures. That's my type.
June 15th, 2011. 9.
Poor niggas,
27.
yo, home. That's
To
my type.
Christian Gray. My boss is mad. I
Really?
blame you for keeping
Yeah,
me up
I want that song. I just wish you would have worked that up. And I'm sure
Be ashamed of yourself.
8 figures is like,
Anastasia Steele, assistant to Jack
which
Hyde,
let me see some
editor,
ex-boyfriends.
SIP. From Christian Gray. Subject, Janana Wettigans.
This guy working Jack in a box.
June 15th, 2011, 9:32.
Nothing wrong with working Jack in a box. Everybody, that's a cool job. Let's cook you.
You have no idea
Why?
how
You got a
appalled
big
I
guy
am
there
at
and
my
a nose
shenanigans.
thing.
But I like
Hey,
you
everybody
up
on
late.
TV. Really? No, Jack in the Box is tight ass with the house. He didn't watch it at 4 in the morning.
Oh,
Really?
and marry me, please.
I wish people could
Christian
understand
Gray,
that, but where I work,
CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc.
no, they have.
Anastasia Steele. Subject, living to me. Date, June 15th, 2011.
Really?
9:35. To Christian
But I want
Gray.
that song to be
I
redone.
know your natural
to be
inclination is
full
toward
nigga.
nagging, but
3
just
figures,
stop.
that's my type.
I need to talk to your shrink. Only then
Full
will I
nerd.
give you my
Look.
answer.
Polish
I am not
nigga.
opposed
No
to
figure,
living
that's my
consent.
type.
Anastasia
And then
Steele,
get up to like,
assistant to Jack Hyde.
bitch,
Editor,
nigga, 6 figures, that's my type.
From Christian Gray.
8 figures, and then it just builds up.
Blackberry. Date,
Really?
June
Yeah,
15th,
that's how it's done.
2011.
Just start on 8
9:40.
fucking figures.
To Anastasia Steele.
I can tell you this. Ask
Anastasia,
anybody,
you're going to start discussing Dr.
man,
Flynn. Then
especially the man
use
she
your
wants in that
Blackberry.
fucking.
This
What
is not
she
a
want?
request. Christian Gray,
8
now pissed CEO,
figures, that's $10
Gray
million.
Enterprises Holdings, Inc.
Rich nigga,
Oh shit.
such
Now
bitch,
he's mad at me
nigga.
too.
8
Well,
figures.
he can
That's
stew
her
for all I
type.
care. I take my Blackberry out of my purse and eye it with skepticism.
That's like no,
As I do, it starts ringing.
except like
Can't he leave me alone? Yes.
even in the
I
NBA,
snap.
that's like
Anna, hi. Jose, how are you? Oh, it's good to hear his voice. I'm fine. Anna, look,
is it that
are
many?
you still seeing that gray guy? Yes? Why? Where is he going with this? Well, he's bought all your photos, and I thought I could deliver them up to Seattle. The exhibition closes Thursday, so I could bring them up Friday evening and drop them off.
Or
Actually,
okay,
I was hoping
so
for a place to crash, too. Jose, that's
or
cool.
other
Yeah, I'm sure we could work something out. Let me talk to Christian and call you back,
100 of
okay?
them, maybe
Cool. I'll wait
make
to hear
that,
from you. Bye, Anna.
but not
Bye.
some
And he's
guys.
gone. Holy cow. I haven't seen or heard from
And
Jose
there's
since his
taxes.
show.
I'd be like,
I didn't
bitch,
ask him
there
how
are
it went or if he
taxes.
sold any more pictures.
You
Some
just don't
friend
get
I
that.
am.
Your
So
song should
I
have been,
could spend the evening with Jose on Friday.
well,
How will
diversified
Christian
nigga,
like
that's
that?
my type. Well,
I've
this
become aware that I
that's
am
my
biting my
type.
lip till it
Right,
hurts.
8 figures.
Oh,
Rich nigga,
that
that's my
man has
type.
double
See that?
standards.
8 figures?
You can. I shudder at the thought. Babe is batshit ex-lover, but I will probably get a truckload of grief for wanting to have a drink
If
with
it's a
Jose.
fucking
How am I going to handle this? Anna? Jack pulls me abruptly out of my reverie. Is he still mad? Where's that letter?
Are you done?
Coming. Shit. What is eating him? I type up his letter in double quick time, print it out, and nervously make my way into his office.
Beat me up.
Here you go.
Excuse me.
I place it on his desk and turn to leave. Jack quickly casts his critical, piercing eyes over it. I don't know what you're doing out there, but I pay you to work, he barks. I'm aware of that, Jack, I mutter apologetically. I feel the slow flush creep up my skin. This is full of mistakes, he snaps. Do it again. Fuck. He's beginning to sound like someone I know. But rudeness from Christian I can tolerate. Jack is beginning to piss me off. And get me another coffee while you're at it. Sorry, I whisper, and scurry out of his office as quickly as I can. Holy fuck, he's being unbearable. I sit back down at my desk, hastily redo his letter, which had 2 mistakes in it, and check it thoroughly before printing. Now, it's perfect. I fetch him another coffee, letting Claire know with a roll of my eyes that I am in deep doo-doo. Taking a deep breath, I approach his office again. Better, he mumbles reluctantly as he signs the letter. Photocopy it, valuable, and mail it out to all authors. Understand? Yes. I am not an idiot. Jack, is there something wrong? He glances, blue eyes darkening as his gaze runs up and down my body. My blood chills. No. His answer is concise, rude, and dismissive. I stand there like the idiot I professed not to be, and then shuffle back out of his office.
Dear Beetle.
Perhaps he suffers from a personality disorder. Sheesh, I'm surrounded by them. I make my way to the copy machine, which, of course, is suffering from a paper jam, and when I fixed it, I find it's out of day. When I am finally back at my desk, stuffing envelopes, my BlackBerry buzzes. I can see through the glass wall that Jack is on the phone. I answer. It's Ethan. Hi, Anna. How'd it go last night? Last night? A quick montage of images flashes through my mind. Christian kneeling, his revelation, his proposal, macaroni and cheese, my weeping, his nightmare, the sex, touching him. Fine, I muttered unconvincingly.
Electrostatics.
Ethan pauses and decides to believe in my denial. Cool. Can I pick up the keys? Sure. I'll be over in about half an hour. Will you have time to grab a coffee? Not today. I was late getting in, and my boss is like an angry bear with a sore head and poison ivy up his ass. Sounds nasty. Nasty and ugly. I giggle. Ethan laughs and my mood lifts a little. Okay, see you in 30. He hangs up. I glance up at Jack and he's staring at me. Oh, shit. I studiously ignore him and continue to stuff envelopes. Half an hour later, my phone buzzes. It's Claire. He's here again, in reception, the blonde god. Ethan is a joy to see after all the angst of yesterday and the bad temper my boss is inflicting on me today. But all too soon, he's saying goodbye. Will I see you this evening? I'll probably stay with Christian. I flush. You have got it bad, Ethan observes good-naturedly. I shrug. That's not the half of it. And in that moment, I realize I have it more than bad. I have it in my life. And, amazingly, Christian seems to feel the same. Ethan gives me a swift hug. Later's, Anna. I return to my desk, wrestling with my realization. Oh, what I would do for a day on my own to just think all this through. Where have you been? Jack is suddenly looming over me. I had some business to attend to in reception. It's really getting on my nerves. I want my lunch, usual, he says abruptly and stomps back into his office. Why didn't I stay home with Christian? My inner goddess crosses her arms and purses her lips. She wants to know the answer to that one, too. Picking up my purse and my BlackBerry, I head for the door. I check my messages. From Christian Gray. Subject, missing you. Date, June 15th, 2011. 9:06. To Anastasia Steele. My bed is too big without you. Looks like I'll have to go to work after all. Give megalomaniac CEOs something to do. X. Christian Gray, twiddling his thumbs, CEO. Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. And there's another from him from later this morning. From Christian Gray. Subject, discretion. Date, June 15th, 2011. 9:50. To Anastasia Steele. Is the better part of valor. Please use discretion. Your work emails are monitored. How many times do I have to tell you this? Yes, shout capitals as you say. Use your BlackBerry. Dr. Flynn can see us tomorrow evening. X. Christian Gray, still pissed CEO, Gray Enterprises. holdings
I believe I can
and an
spread
even
my
later
legs.
one.
I'm like
Oh no.
open
From
port.
Christian Gray. Subject, crickets. Date, June 15th, 2011, 12:15. To Anastasia Steele. I haven't heard from you. Please tell me you are okay. You know how I worry. I will send Taylor to check. X. Christian Gray, over-anxious CEO, Gray Enterprises Holdings, Inc. I roll my eyes and call him. I don't want him to worry. Christian Gray's phone, Andrea Parker speaking. Oh, I am so disconcerted that it's not Christian who answers that it halts me in the street, and the young man behind me mutters angrily as he swerves to avoid bumping into me. I stand under the green awning of the deli. Hello, can I help you? Andrea fills the void of awkward silence. Sorry, I was hoping to speak to Christian. Mr. Gray is in a meeting at this time. She bristles with efficiency. Can I take a message? Can you tell him Anna called? Anna? As in Anastasia Steele? Yes? Her question confuses me. Hold 1 second, please, Miss Steele. And I listen attentively as she puts down the phone, but I can't tell what's going on. A few seconds later, Christian is on the line. Christian, why wouldn't I be okay? I whisper reassuringly. You're normally so quick at responding to my emails. After what I told you yesterday, I was worried. He says quietly, and then he's talking to someone in his office. No, Andrea, tell them to wait. He says sternly. Oh, I know that tone of voice. I can't hear Andrea's response. No, I said wait. He snaps. Christian is very busy today. Jack has been cracking the whip. I flush and fall silent. Christian says nothing for a minute. Cracking the whip, eh? Well, there was a time when I would have called him a lucky man. His voice is full of dry humor. Don't let him get on top of you, baby. Dan, I scold him, and I know he's grinning. Just watch him, that's all. Look, I'm glad you're okay. What time should I pick you up? I'll email you from your BlackBerry, he says sternly. Yes, sir. I snap back. Later, baby. Bye. He's still hanging on. Hang up, I scold, smiling. He sighs heavily down the phone. I wish you'd never gone to work this morning. Me too, but I am busy. Hang up. Hang up. I hear his smile. Oh, playful Christian. I love playful Christian. I love Christian. Period. We've been here before. Biting your lip. Shit. He's right. How does he know? See, I think I don't know you, Anastasia, but I know you better. He murmurs seductively in that way that makes me weak and wet. Christian, I'll talk to you later. Right now, I really wish I hadn't left this morning, too. I'll wait for your email, Miss. Good day, Mr. Gray. Hanging up, I lean against the cold, hard glass of the deli store window. Oh my, even on the phone he owns me. Shaking my head to clear it of all thoughts Gray, I head into the deli, pressed by all thoughts of Jack. He's scowling when Is it okay if I go to lunch now? I ask tentatively. He gazes up at me and his scowl deepens. If you must, he snaps. 45 minutes. Think of the time you lost this morning. Jack, can I ask you something? What? You seem kind of out of sorts today. Have I done something to offend you? He blinks at me momentarily. I don't think I'm the biggest list of misdemeanors right now. I'm busy. He continues to stare at his computer screen, effectively dismissing me. Whoa, what have I done? I turn to his office, and for a minute I think I'm going to cry. Why has he taken such a sudden and intense dislike to me? A very unwelcome idea pops into my head, but I ignore it. I don't need his shit right now. I have enough of my own. I head out of the building to the nearby Starbucks, order a latte, and sit down in the window. Taking my iPod from my purse, I plug my headphones in. I choose a song haphazardly and press repeat, so it will play over and over again. I need music to think by. My mind drifts. Christian the sadist, Christian the submissive, Christian the untouchable, Christian's animal impulses, Christian faith in Layla. I groan and close my eyes while that last image haunts me. Can I really marry this man? He's so much to take in. He's complex and deep down, I know I don't want to leave him despite all his issues. I could never leave him. I love him. It would be like cutting off my right arm. Right now, I have never felt so alive, so vital. I've encountered all manner of perplexing, profound, and white, like Jose's pictures. Now, my whole world is in rich, bright, saturated color. I am soaring in a beam of dazzling light. Christian's dazzling light. I am still Icarus, flying too close to his sun. I snort to myself, flying with Christian. Who can resist a man who can fly? Can I give him up? Do I want to give him up? It's as if he's flipped a switch and lit me up from within. It's been an education knowing him. I have discovered more about myself in the last few weeks than ever before. I've learned about my body, my hard limits, my soft limits, my tolerance, my patience, my compassion, and my capacity for love. And it strikes me like a thunderbolt. That's what he needs from me. What's what he needs? Can I love him unconditionally? Can I accept him for who he is, regardless of his revelations last night? I know he's damaged, but I don't think he's irredeemable. I sigh, recalling Taylor's words. He's a good man, Miss Steele. I've seen the weighty evidence of his goodness, his charity work, his business ethics, his generosity, and yet he doesn't see it in himself. He doesn't feel deserving of any love. Given his history and his predilections, I have an